Hi, this is Robin over at DetroitCouponsandDeals.com, and I am finally going to be able to review one of my very favorite objects that I own, my Amazon Kindle. I absolutely love this thing. I got it for Christmas. It's March now, and I still absolutely adore it. I use it every single day. It goes with me almost every time I leave the house, unless I'm taking my kids to school. I've taken it to sporting events, doctor's offices, you name it. If I'm going to be sitting for a few minutes, I probably have it with me. I'm also going to review the case, which I will show you in a little bit. But first, I'm going to give you an up-close and personal view of this too. We'll get a close-up. What you're seeing right here is just a screensaver. I just wanted to give you a bit of a long view of it. I want to show you how skinny it is. I have the 3G white version. This one currently on Amazon is $189. They also have the black, I think they call it slate, in the 3G that's $189. They have a larger version that's, I think, like a 9-inch. This is a 6-inch. I think the 9-inch is like $389. I think it's supposed to be similar to an iPad. I totally don't think that's necessary. They also have a slate, I'm not sure what color they call it, but it's like a black one that's just Wi-Fi. That's $139. Honestly, after having the 3G, I think I would have been perfectly happy for the most part with the Wi-Fi. I don't use the 3G all that much. It's a little hard to navigate, but we'll talk about some of the pros and cons of this. But I want to give you a really up close and personal, and then I'll pull the camera back and give you some of the pros and cons of it. Because I'm not just trying to sell you on this, although I do absolutely love it. I will tell you, if you're a certain type of person, it's not for you. But if you're a certain type of person, it is for you. But I want to really zoom in on it, give you an up close personal, show you the book that I'm currently reading on it, and just show you what it looks like. And then I'll zoom out again, and I'll show you the case that I have with it that I use to read it with it at night. Okay, here's my Kindle, what I was just showing you from afar, close up. Still got the screensaver there. I'm going to do my best not to wiggle. I don't have it on the tripod I'm holding, so there's going to be a little wiggle factor there. To wake it up, we're going to go down here to these buttons. I'm simply going to just turn it on. It comes on. Okay, it's pulled up the book I'm reading, but just kind of for you to see it. I'm going to hit the home button. And let's say I want to go into the current book that I'm reading, which I'm going to hit this button down here. This button right here has a little dot, basically the equivalent of enter. Let me show you all the buttons. It has a keyboard. Here's your space. You've got your home button, back menu, and there's your enter button. My book that we'll go into right now, currently reading, called 168 Hours. It's a time management book. We'll just use it as an example. And if I want to flip from page to page, I'm going to go forward, I'm going to go right here. To go backward, I'm going to go right here. The same buttons are right here. Now, that is the book portion of it, which is what I mainly use the Kindle for. Okay, so the pros and cons of the Kindle. Everybody has their favorite. Some people really like the Barnes & Noble Nook, and I talk a lot about that on my site too, and I offer When free Nook books are available, you can check DetroitCouponsandDeals.com. I talk about those when they're available, as well as free Kindle books, which I often take advantage of for this. I've bought very few books for my Kindle. Advantages of the Kindle. It's very small and light. I should have checked on the weight on this, but it's very light. It has internet capabilities. It's very quiet. I often read it in bed next to my husband, and even as he's falling asleep, he does not hear me flipping pages with clicking the buttons. It's just very quiet. One of the reasons that I picked the Kindle is it has great contrast. Why is this important? I absolutely love reading in the sun in the summer, and the Kindle is consistently rated as one of the highest contrast in reading in the sun, meaning you can sit in the sun and read this just like a book. No other electronic product, including a laptop, claims this. So that for me was one of the biggest selling points of the Kindle. What are the cons of it? After owning it for about 3 months, no touchpad. For me, that's been a problem, particularly on the internet, and that's the other con. There's no touchpad. I don't even own anything that has a touchpad. I don't even have a phone that has a touchpad, so I'm not too spoiled. But it's very difficult to navigate on the internet, to the point I don't use it unless I have absolutely no other option. So it would be nice if I could just touch things, because it has a very, very slick screen. Oh, and one other con of it, it is not in color. I've bought a book or two for my children. I always have to warn them, remember, it's not in color. These are 21st century children. I have 6- and 4-year-old little boys. They're not used to seeing things not in color. So there's no color on it, which I have no problem with because I use it for this, which is just print. That's the primary thing I use it for. One other thing I want to show you is the case. I got a little tickled as I was preparing this. Obviously my favorite color is pink. My sweater's pink, the curtains are pink, and my case is pink. That wasn't intentional, but anyway. These are expensive. I believe I got this for Christmas. I believe I will link up to this. I believe it was $65. You can get them in all different colors. What's cool about this, you're going to have to hook it in. There are 2 little hooks right on the Kindle. Hooks right in here. You don't have to get this kind of case, but I suggest it, and you'll see why I do in a minute. Hook it right in there. It's got a secure hook, but here's what's lovely about it. The light, if it's not hooked up, the light won't work. This light is drawing off of the Kindle's battery. This light is bright, but it's dim enough that I can read it in bed next to my husband while he sleeps. I'm a terrible insomniac, so that happens quite frequently. And it doesn't bother him. For the most part, it doesn't bother him. Occasionally he'll say, can you move it just a slightly different angle? But it's great. If I'm not quite ready for bed, I'll just go ahead and turn my Kindle light on and finish getting ready for bed, you know, getting my stuff situated on my nightstand. It gives me enough light to do that. I can read it. I can see everything on my Kindle. It doesn't light the whole room up. And like I said, the person right next to me has virtually no trouble sleeping. So I highly recommend the case that comes along with it. But it's not a necessity. Not only do you have the light, you have the protection. This shuts, closes, elastic band, and voila. So there you have it, the Amazon Kindle. Whether you choose the 3G like I have or just the Wi-Fi, I think it's worth every penny. So when you hear me talk about getting free ebooks for your Kindle, this is what I'm reading mine on. So this is Robin from Detroit Coupons and Deals. I will talk to you later. See ya.